Have you heard about this personal and professional podcast?
Coaching in Session
with your host, Michael Rearden.
Today we're going to be talking about a phenomena that we don't necessarily know it's there. We might feel it's there in all aspects of our life, but we don't pay attention until today, when someone is going to make it as clear and as plain view as possible. Today we're going to be talking about the Pygmalion Effect. What is the Pygmalion Effect, right? Basically, what it is a phenomenon that is talking about the expectations that we're giving other people, other humans typically, right? Of course, you can give an expectation to a dog or a cat, but the reality is it's not necessarily the same because they have a different type of instinct, right? They have that animal instinct, right? A wolf, for example, right? You might have trained a wolf. It might love you, sleep with you. But at the same time, if that wolf is hungry and you're the only one there, it might be hard pressed for it to say, hey, let me use some common logic saying, this person is not food. This person is my friend. It's beyond reasoning sometimes. So we're just going to keep it very simple. This is about humans. Now, the reason why we're talking about this today is because schools, for example, are going to be one of the factors that this will have maybe the most impact to teachers, parents, etc. Because if we can master the Pygmalion Effect, we will not only stop many of the bad things that are happening to our kids, but we are going to help them be in a better place. Now, we have to ask ourselves, well, what is expectations, right? Because if you don't know what expectations are or standards, you're just going to create something that is a bare bone baseline thing, right? So what are your expectations for your kids? Maybe they have to take out the trash, maybe they have to walk the dog or the cat or whatever. That is the expectations, right? Maybe not talk back to you. Like we can go down the line of what the expectations are. And as you can see, it won't work for pets, right? Is your dog supposed to take out the trash? Is your dog supposed to protect you and things like that? And if they don't, what is the repercussion? For example, I'll give an example. My dog, companion, she was supposed to protect me. One time we were out running over in North Austin and it was in the evening time and this pit bull came and started running at me. And sure enough, she was nowhere to be in my vicinity to protect me. It was me versus the pit bull. No one else. My dog was just down the road. She wanted nothing to do what was going to happen with me and the pit bull. So then after the incident, whatever, nothing happened, right? Because I stood my ground and the pit bull kind of okay, let me keep going. Plus the owner was like shouting. So eventually turned around and went the other way. But I finally caught up to my dog and my dog had like a smile on her face. I'm like, you betrayed me. As you can see, it's not necessarily there. But I do want to be even more specific in what the expectations for today are going to be. And it's going to be for growth in education, essentially, right? There was a study that was done, or there's been many studies, it's not just one, where they look at the impact of the Pygmalion Effect. What they have found is that when teachers give high expectations or higher expectations for children than they typically would, the children do better on tests, in general, whatever, right? Well, why would a teacher assume or give the effort that this class or that this set of students is a group that they should be putting more effort in? Well, the study that I want to refer to, and there's many other similar studies, is there was a group of teachers, I think first grade, second grade, third grade, around there. And they had this, two groups of children, right? They had children that scored really good on tests, so they were considered like geniuses or higher potential. And then they have the average students, right? Nothing to write home about. They got the regular scores, right? Maybe the high C's, the B's, whatever it be. Well, they did a switcheroonie on the teachers. They basically told the teachers the opposite. The students who had a higher potential. For example, the people who scored really good on the test, they were just considered average, versus the average students were considered genius. Oh my goodness, you have a bunch of geniuses in your classroom. So that being told to the teachers starting off the school year, just starting off the lessons, the teacher who had the geniuses felt almost an obligation to hold that class accountable to that genius standard. And then also that teacher got something too. And that was they wanted to give everything that they had to make sure that this class did well, because it would also reflect on them. If a genius was taught by me and I can make them even smarter, oh my goodness, like that right there will make my day. And we do it internally most of the time. So then the other class that was the geniuses that scored really well and they got that average teacher, the average teacher just kind of said, okay, well, I'll just kind of move through regular, nothing really special here. So sure enough, there was no growth happening. The expectations were very different between the teachers. One thought she had a group of geniuses and they were all average students, and the other one had a group of geniuses and she just kind of thought they were just a run-of-the-mill student. In this blog today, The Pygmalion Effect, How Mindset Shapes Potential, we talk about Pygmalion Effect. We talk about the educational settings. We get into the aspects of fixed and growth mindsets. But then we talk about how it affects mindset. Because when we adapt this growth mindset type of mentality when approaching our potential, we can give ourselves an effect of the Pygmalion effect, whether someone believes in us or if someone does not believe in us. Now, I will say it is easier when someone believes in you, because what I say is you have to have at least one person believe in you. It can be yourself, right? So that person can be yourself, but sometimes someone can come in and they can toss a wrench into something. You can have the imposter syndrome. There could be so many different things that stop you from believing. And I want you to, if you're an adult at least, I want you to think back at your most influential teachers and look at some of the traits that they had. Did they care? Did they go above and beyond? Or did they half ass it? If they were one of those teachers who were just kind of like, yeah, this is okay for the moment. I'm just kind of coming here for a paycheck. You can tell. You can also tell the teachers who are ready for retirement and they just kind of come in. They don't necessarily love the job anymore. They're just kind of doing it to get full retirement. You can tell. All right. The same thing with police officers, things like that. In all aspects, it could be in a Fortune 500, company. Someone's about to retire and they are, like the workflow is just not good anymore. So it's like waiting for the day that they're gone. Here we have 4 steps that we can use to harness the positive effects of the Pygmalion effect. So number 1, self-awareness and reflection. 2, setting high expectations. 3, promoting a growth mindset. We talked about that briefly. And then 4, empowering others. So just kind of going through the list, starting with number 1, we are going to recognize personal beliefs and biases about oneself and others. And we're going to challenge their limiting beliefs and embrace growth and have an orientated perspective on what is happening within us and around us. This is something that many people struggle with because they don't necessarily know the limits that have been given to them or that they have given themselves. For example, I talked about the story before. It's just a really good story and it's so easy to understand. There was one kid who didn't think that they could swim from me to the side of the pool. This is like a 3-year-old. So why is this 3-year-old telling me that they can't swim to the side of the pool? Like, who in the world told them? It was not his teacher at school for sure, because the teacher at school is not working with swimming and they're too young to do swimming classes. So this all going to be private. So it was either me, another instructor in the vicinity, which it wasn't the case because I was the only one who was able to teach that child. So who was it? It wasn't the mom. It wasn't the dad. It was the child. But you have to ask him, like the $1 million question. Where in the world would they get that type of thinking? It's almost like if you are afraid of the dark. Who in the world told you to be afraid of the dark? Who in the world told you that there's monsters under the bed? It's your imagination. And that imagination can lead to limits and it can also lead to growth. However, oftentimes our imagination, it leads to limitations. So that limitation was there, right? He was like, oh no, I can't swim to the side of the pool. He even said I was crazy. He was like, are you crazy? I can't do that. And I was like, what? Who told you that? And then he was thinking because he was the person who told himself that. But he didn't even realize that that was happening. Self-awareness started to click in, set in. He was like, wait, I was the person. So that means I can overcome it. And then I was there to support him, right? So number two, setting high expectations. The bar was already set. I wasn't going to back down and he had to show up. So then we gave him the growth mindset, right? The number three aspect. You're going to grow. You don't have a choice. And it might seem, like very strict, like, oh my God, Michael, like you're not giving your students a choice. Not when it comes to being, limited and fixed, when you have all of this potential within you. No, you can do that with another coach. You can do that with another school. You could do that with another program. Not in this house. We are going to push and we're going to get every drop of goodness out of you. And if you don't want it, look the other way. That's just what we do here. And that leads to number four, empowering others. We help people get out of that mindset of, well, I was told I was dumb. I was told, I wouldn't be anything in life. And the people who were told those things and they decided to adapt a mindset of growth and a mindset of the Pygmalion Effect, saying, I don't care what you say, I'm going to do the opposite. Those people turn out to be the most powerful people that go after their goals and their dreams and their ambitions. Why? Because it's almost like, I don't care what obstacles in front of me, I'm going to overcome it. And there are so many people in the world that when they hit a roadblock, when they hit a challenge, when they hit a rough patch, it's almost like, well, I guess I got to give up. I guess I have to turn around. I guess I have to settle for less. If you just gave yourself this high expectation, well, I guess I have to rise to the challenge again. You might be tired, but you get up again. You do it again. And you keep on doing it till the day you're dead. It might seem like overkill, but you have to ask yourself, what is the alternative? The alternative is you being just like everyone else in their circumstance, unhappy, unfulfilled, looking for meaning in life, and trying to get a piece of the pie. Well, the Pygmalion Effect is big with teachers, right? Because we can blame the school system. We can say, well, the reason why all of our students are not moving toward a higher potential is because, well, there's all the social media, there's all this stuff, and the teachers are already checked out. The teachers have their hands cuffed, and, the school policies and the curriculum is not good. I mean, we can play the blame game all day long. But the reality is, it's not only about the teachers that are giving their effort for growth. It has to be a two-way street. For example, if I'm coaching someone and they come to me and they say, hey, Michael, I would like to lose some weight. All right, I need you to lose some weight then. Great. Cool. What's the number? Great. Now we have our plan. We're doing this many pounds a week, etc., or month, whatever it be. We're on track. We're making our move. We're making our progress. And we have high expectations there, right? If you fall off, yeah, sure. You fall off the first time. I might say, hey, it happens, right? No one's perfect. But how can we mitigate this from happening continually? And if it happens like the next day, I'm going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. What's truly going on? Because if you truly wanted this, you're not going to be just falling over the next day. You're going to have at least a little bit of motivation to keep on going 4 or 5 days, and then you're going to fall off again. So there's something else going on that we need to look at mindset, right? Well, either way, we are looking at the progress and we're going to have those high expectations to get to our goal. We would like to get to the goal pretty quickly. Of course, we are going to enjoy the journey. When we have a goal, the quicker we can get to our goal, the quicker we can go after bigger goals. because the goals that we give ourselves might be bite-sized. They might be, stepping stones to get to the bigger stuff later on in life, whatever it be. The expectation for you is more than what you expect. Typically, when it comes to pushing and pulling the potential out of an individual, you need a coach, you need a mentor, you need a guide, you need a teacher, you need a parent, you need someone who's going to push you past what you think is your breaking point. In elementary, for example, you're on the basketball team and you might say, I can't run anymore. And your coach says, you better get up and run again before I make you run all night. You get up and you start running, like all of a sudden, like magic hits you. Like, wait, I thought I couldn't run anymore. And I got to run more and I'm running more and there's nothing stopping me. The reason is sometimes we are given limits because our body and our brain, is so smart. It's like, hey, you need to take it easy, right? You got your heart rate going and maybe you're tired. And sure enough, right? It could be a sign that you need to take a break. But oftentimes it's an illusion. It's an illusion that's stopping you from being truly who you are, from being great. So if we know that we can be greater, how can we do it more regularly? Well, this blog right here, the Pygmalion Effect, it talks about just that, how that mindset can shape our potential for more in our life. We should be able to surround ourselves with teachers and positive mentors and coaches, maybe even friends that are going to see our potential within us and they're going to help push us toward it. I know some people, they have friends that see the potential in them. And the moment they try to help their friend move forward, it's almost like they're given like a backlash, like, just let me be, just let me be. Versus, thank you for helping me become more than what I was or what I was trying to stay in. Friends, when you give yourself that title, it's almost like I will accept you at your lowest, I will accept you at your greatest, and I will also accept you even if you don't want to try. Well, I don't consider that good friendship. I consider if I have a friend that I can truly call a friend, I want them to challenge me and I want to be able to challenge them. I don't want to stay in this friendship and just kind of be who we were. Oh, yeah, you remember when we met and we just kind of stayed the same? No, it's like marriage. Why in the world would I marry a person and expect just, oh, yeah, everything's going to stay the same, like our same circumstance and the same beliefs? I want growth in that marriage. And in all aspects of the life in our life, if you think for a moment that you can just kind of give yourself a low standard and a low expectations for moving in life, think again. Because if you keep on listening to this podcast, if you keep on with, reading the blogs and watching our motivational content, maybe even getting coaching from us, you're going to find that the expectations that we give you are going to be more than anyone else has given you in your whole entire life. So if you want to change, if you truly want to change, you can head over to revenconcepts.com, check out some of our free material or blogs. We have ebooks for sale if you wanted to get some of those. It goes just more into a deeper mindset. Maybe you wanted to watch some motivational videos, or maybe even just catch up on some of the episodes of the podcast. Whichever area you're in, there's something for everyone. And then, of course, dive into the consultation if it's your first time. If not, you can always just re-sign up for a program, sign up for a program for the first time, whatever it be. The coaching is very simple. We have two packages, the basic and the premium. The basic is still going to get you where you need to go. The premium is going to get you there a lot faster, and it's a lot more difficult. For the people who do the premium, they want the cream of the crop when it comes to coaching. They want someone on their booty, on their tail, making sure that they do everything that they have to do. So if you're not one of those people who want extreme change and massive change and growth in your life, choose the basic. It's going to help you get there a lot sooner still than if you did it by yourself or you were just hanging around some people that kind of gave themselves this mindset of, I would like to change, or they see the potential in me, but they're not helping me pull it out. We're going to help you pull it out and we're going to help you keep it out. because that is what we are looking for when it comes to mindset and what it comes to this article that we just shared today, the Pygmalion Effect, how mindset shapes your potential. Of course, you can read the whole article. The link is in the description box below. But before you do that, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and to stay tuned for our next episode of Coaching in Session. We'll be back Wednesday, of course, whenever you're listening to this. Blog episodes come out on Monday. The blog episodes are going to be there to give you that boost, bit by bit, step by step, to help you reach the highest potential yet.